Two white dudes talk Blackening.
Action!
Two white guys, and there pretty much doesn't matter at all what their opinion says about
I'm
the Blackening.
sorry.
Welcome back to Coming This Summer.
Doing a little something different. We missed this one in the swarm of
The opening weekend, yeah.
of weekends
did.
box offices. We had Flash, Elemental. What did we just see? Asteroid City, No Hard Feelings. Spider-Verse. This Blackening movie just released in the middle of all of it.
And it was in our theater where we see a lot of stuff. It's weird about when they play things.
Yeah.
Like it was there, then it was gone, and then it was back.
And it was back for one show, and now it's got multiple shows a day. Yeah.
And Asteroid City was there for one show,
Yep.
gone for the week, and then came back when we went to see. So that's what I'm saying. So it's so when it was there, it's only there through a couple days this week, and then it's gone again. So who knows?
Yeah, they're taking it out of theaters already.
Already?
I'm like, well, it made enough money, I think, for it to warrant taking it out of theaters already. $5 million budget, directed by Tim Story.
That name is super familiar.
The
Is that
director of
Deadpool?
2000's
Fantastic
Fantastic movies.
Four.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
That's right.
Not Toy Story, Tim Story.
Tim Story, yeah. No, I know. The second I saw that name, it instantly rang familiarity in my head.
Yeah. Which those movies are pretty good. They're probably the best Fantastic Four movies that exist.
That's how you get your comeback too. You
Yeah.
take a $5 million nothing movie.
Nothing.
And you get hype off of it.
Which makes you think it was probably a first time director, but no, it's fucking dude who's been in the biz.
Tightly directed though.
It's good.
That's one of the
aside from being a cliche by the numbers horror movie.
When they want it to be.
No, the whole movie is the ending. You know what I mean?
Yeah, except okay.
Nerdy character gets introduced.
Okay, hold on, spoilers.
I mean, it's obvious.
Right.
You can't spoil this movie.
No, I know, but I'm
okay.
minutes,
when
you
haven't figured it out.
When she Wolverines the one guy,
yeah,
they do the hype tension build up.
With the shoe.
You think he's dead?
With the shoe or
oh yeah, he's dead. And every other horror movie, he's not dead. So they did.
Well, the first guy's dead.
Well, the first guy they
yeah.
When he's out by the lake, she Wolverines him, he falls down, they go, take off the mask, and the one guy goes, are you sure? You sure he's out all the way? And she's like, yeah, I stabbed him a bunch of times. But I'm just saying, a lot of horror movies, you'll bend down and take the mask off, and then he's grabbing your
and
wrist.
Then they get back up. That happened before.
It did happen before, but they didn't.
After that.
After, to a different
the
one.
second guy.
So
the movie is...
It's Trophy City, you're right.
They're celebrating Juneteenth, and it's a college reunion.
College reunion is what it sounded like.
What it sounds like. It's really just a bunch of friends.
It's the 10-year basically
hanging out.
Though.
Yeah. So 10 years out of college, a bunch of these friends go to a lake house. They rent out a lake house in the middle, a cabin in the woods,
very
if you will.
Similar to the lake house in Barrie. I don't know if you noticed a lot of that was very Barrie.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's the
Jean's cabin.
Same area.
Yeah, it was yeah.
Okay. So our characters, we got Lisa, Dwayne, Namdi,
I
King.
remember all of these.
Who's the Adderall? Jenny? That's not a...
I can't remember their names. I can't remember.
So we have our cast, and then Clifton, who's this nerdy guy who wasn't invited to the party.
But he tells everybody he was.
But he runs into one of them on the way to the party and tags along, I guess. The one character just lets him come.
It's she's
I'll
take you.
I was going to go to the soiree.
The beginning and the end of the movie were the funniest. The Jay Farrow in the beginning,
that was really funny. Setting up the movie.
Setting up the movie was really very scary movie-ish. I felt what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very scary movie-ish.
Then it got way more grounded. For a little
grounded,
while.
Scary movie. It's grounded, scary movie. Yeah.
But the funny thing I thought is the entire movie basically played as a joke, a cop joke. The entire movie played to a literal punchline, and then the credits rolled. I thought that was the most clever of the entire, I just watched a 90-minute joke about police suck.
Yeah.
That's
a 90-minute joke.
That's what it was.
That's what it is. It's a punchline to a setup, or setup to a punchline. Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
No, the movie follows horror movie tropes. They're all having fun, having a gas, and then
everybody's on drugs.
Everybody's on drugs. Molly, shroom. I got Molly, shrooms. The funniest bit in the whole fucking movie is the mind control. How they have
they can talk through looks. Yeah.
That was the funniest shit ever.
But it was just so out of left field.
So out of place.
Yeah, it was weird.
caught me way off guard.
It was way.
When it happens the first time, I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, the first one they make it completely like the way they're looking because they're doing super face. Okay, it's like okay, get it, women. They look at each other.
Right.
But then by the end, they're just like full on mentally telepathy.
Telepathic.
Yeah. And then the bad guy's like, I can hear you. And you're like, what? How? They're looking at each other,
discussing a plan with their minds, and then the other guy. Did you just hear that? They're talking in their minds. Yeah, your whole plans are ruined. I heard everything. Oh my god, dude!
It was like super
so funny,
ridiculous.
Yeah. It was definitely a good break from the comedies we've gotten this year.
I put it better than The Machine and like About My Father and all those, but I still think it was not quite as good as No Hard Feelings.
I liked it better than No Hard Feelings because again, No Hard Feelings was still bogged down by like the romance.
There was a lot of rom-com there.
Yeah,
I like this more. Like you said, we're opposite. I liked it more of the horror stuff because I just liked how they leaned into a lot of those trope things.
I don't think
they did it perfect.
Yeah, but it wasn't really like horror though. Nothing was scary at all.
No, but it was very like
it was slasher.
It's a slasher. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like that horror, a slasher horror film. And I love Scream and I love those movies. And it's played like a version.
It's not like a Conjuring or an Insidious.
No, it's comedy Scream. And I know
Right.
Scream already has some jokes, but this was like if you cranked the jokes to MCU level.
If Scream was a full-on comedy, right.
It still has the blood and still has the murder.
Yeah, it's a slasher comedy,
right?
Because it's really not horror.
There's not that much blood.
No,
sincerely, there's
other
not.
than like the opening. When his neck is like pouring out,
and then the park ranger, almost the same exact shot with the same blood,
and then she like cuts the dude with the Wolverine.
But even then, they don't really show a lot of blood. So if you don't like gore, it's not very gory.
No, nobody's getting like their heads cut off or like.
No,
it's just like the two bad guys. There's three bad guys. One who hires two other guys to kill all the black people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the two guys who are after all the black people are like redneck asshole hicks, basically.
Yeah, like 6'8",
like
300
giants.
pound.
Yeah, and then they somehow, again, full spoilers, they somehow split up when everything's unveiled, and then proceed to kick the ass of both the fucking killers. Just beat the fuck out of them.
See, that's where it went anti-trope because they split up.
Yeah,
and they won
and
instead of splitting up and dying.
They beat the fuck out of the killers.
Right. But
at that point, it's like. Yeah, it's a mix-up, but you're like, well, I already know who the killer is.
Well, we already knew.
Because it's, like, obvious from
it was obvious,
the
like, the
first 10
park
minutes.
ranger was not bad. Like, in that whole scene, like, let me in, please, I'm not bad. Oh, he's not bad.
No,
No,
I don't know.
I trust you.
Yeah.
Arrow through the skull. I do like crossbow as a weapon because they don't do that enough in horror
movies. So it's
movies.
like crossbows as a weapon. So it's like people just getting shot with, like, arrows. So there's really not
because they play
blood.
it to a joke a couple times.
People aren't getting shot.
Like when King gets shot, he rips it out the second he finally, because he's like begging everyone to rip it out. No one will do it. He rips it out and goes, there, I did it myself. And as he says that and drops the arrow and turns, they shoot him again in the same exact spot.
And then the other person goes to pull it out and sticks it in their arm.
Like those things were funny. That's what I mean. Like it played more like how people would really probably act.
Yeah.
Because no one would know it's your adrenaline's all over the place.
Yeah, you're gonna kick ass. Yeah.
Or you're gonna die.
The fuck out of the killer, and he's like, his arm's fucked.
He's like, oh, you can't fight. That's why you're using a weapon. And then he just starts wailing on him. Yeah.
Like playing the music, and then the fucking Adderall, like fucking head.
That bit was pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Aside from the villain, who's just like the nerdy guy they invite, who they bullied in college.
Which caused him to get drunk, and then he ran over somebody and killed him.
Which, like, ruined his life. This,
so
like,
he's
one
been
bad night.
This.
Yeah, and it's all their fault.
Yeah.
Not his fault for getting too drunk and driving and murdering somebody. It's your fault.
And my only issue is they did make it too obvious.
Yeah.
If it's not played so hard.
Super over the top, even before.
So you already know.
When they get to the part where they're like, choose one, and they die. And it's like they all pick Clifton, like the nerdy guy. And it's like, yeah, guys, I already figured this out 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, you guys should have killed him earlier.
You guys should have killed him way
because
earlier.
When he takes a shot
he's not
outside,
answering any of the questions. You know, like.
Well, did you notice too? Like when he takes a shot outside, it's here, and it looks like
the shoes come off, or
right?
something.
And it
something
looks like he's
happens
wearing
with the
a
shoes.
pack.
Yeah.
And not just like, oh, it's a movie, but like almost like he purposely took the arrow there.
Well, they knew they were all going to pick him.
Right. So
the trivia, the like Black History trivia, them having to answering that whole bit, like the game they play is called the Blackening, and it's basically horror Jumanji.
Yep.
Where you think it's the game controlling it, which is kind of what
I
thought.
He's like,
at first.
he's cameraed up the entire area.
Yeah, and
inside
microphones
and
cameras and stuff. So it's really just like an audio. guy.
It's a weird
into a
mix.
speaker.
It's like Cabin in the Woods meets the Jordan, like the Get Out kind of like.
I'm surprised nobody from those movies were. Or
it felt
was he
that,
acknowledged?
though.
Like, was he a producer on this? I would have called that dude. You know
True.
what I mean? That
but
guy knows how to
they
do
did
horror.
the twist. They show you the two murderers being white guys, and then they tried to give you but actually it was a black guy that was
Actually, it's Clifton, surprise, who's gonna murder all of them. Which, again, it's just like
he was played too tropey. They were like, let's make him the really super
make
nerdy,
him super
over the
unlikable.
top, and
If it was like
unlikable.
King's the Killer, I would have been like,
oh yeah,
fuck, they
because they give him.
Yeah,
they set
they
up
got
like
me.
giving
Yeah.
a couple of the characters crap for their past and how they've changed.
We need exposition.
So
Yeah.
that could make you, if you're not paying enough attention, thinking maybe it's one of them and maybe they haven't changed and now they're pissed. You know what I mean? But that's the whole. They've all been telling everyone how much they've changed. So the killer at the end's like, I almost believed you.
They do a good job of giving you reasons for it. Could be all of them, but then they make that one character too tropey. One of the characters is like mixed, so they shit on her for being mixed and not like full black or whatever.
Right.
And then like when it comes just in time, they're like, oh no, you're 100% black. You know, you got to die because you're the blackest of us all. You know. And
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you know. So it's like, and then the big dude, Namdi or whatever, is like, well, you guys think I'm an asshole towards women, right? Or king. Like, oh, I'm an ex-gangster and you all can't see me any other way. Like,
Right.
there's reasons all of them
That's what I'm
could
saying,
be,
yeah.
like, the killer.
Like if not, because Namdi was supposed to be a piece of crap in college, so maybe he hates all of them because they didn't like him and he's plotting to kill. You know what I mean? Like, so they gave you.
And then Clifton shows up, though.
Right,
And
and
it's
it's
like, oh,
ruined.
it's him.
Yeah. No, the second he's in the gas station and talks, I'm like, oh, he's the killer.
Oh, it's him. Yeah.
No, like it's obvious. Hey, so I was invited to the party,
The soiree.
and
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, that guy's a killer.
Yeah.
And he even shoots the
guy.
gas station guy
The
that ends
look.
up being one of the murderers. They
Yeah.
look at each other, then he
Yeah.
walks away, and I'm like, well, that was way
weird.
too obvious.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, other than that.
But it's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Like
you
for
can-
a slasher film, it's weird to say, but it is. It's like lighthearted slasher film.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
they're dealing with a lot like change. It's supposed to be
Definitely
like growing
you
up.
get a happy ending. They definitely beat the fuck out of the killers.
The end,
you know?
the joke we're talking like to what we said at the beginning. There's a joke like everything happens, and the ones who live, and they're all outside, and it's like they're all out of breath, and they're all just like they're all down, and then one goes, "What do we do now?" And the other, one of them looks and goes, "Should we call the police?"
Call the police.
And there's like 3 seconds of silence,
It goes back to credits, right?
and then they all start laughing. Then it goes to credits.
They all start laughing and goes, no, seriously.
Yeah, and then it goes to
credits,
credits, and then
and
it
then
comes
they're
back,
smoking
and now they're
like
all
a
smoking
joint.
weed.
Yeah.
And then the one guy calls the fire department because firefighters won't shoot you.
I missed that part.
That's when it comes back from the credit scene. It's really funny. The gay guy, I can't remember his name.
Dwayne.
Dwayne.
Yeah.
Like they pull a Modern Family bit. It might have been the best in the entire movie.
I missed it.
Comes
Damn.
back. They go like literally credits, 2 credits. Comes back. They're all smoking. He's like, "Where'd you just go?" And he's wearing something completely different. And he's like, "Oh, I called the fire department." What? He's like, "Fire department doesn't shoot you." And they're like, "Okay, that makes sense."
But he changed.
Did you change your clothes? And he's wearing like a suit top. It's it's like just out of Modern Family, like he's flirting with the fire department.
Yeah. Did you change?
And then they roll up, and because there's like still like smoke in the background, everything that's happened, they just turn the hoses on all of them anyway, because
Oh my
even though they
God.
weren't cops, they still got blasted with the water hoses, and then that's the end.
Jesus Christ.
So
I missed that.
that was the last
Wow.
after. There was like there were like many after credit scenes that
Yeah.
took place in between. So
Yeah, I got like the first one.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was
You
already
were
out.
out.
Yeah, I was already. I felt uncomfortable.
is it okay if I'm in here?
Nobody else in my theater. So I was laughing. I was having.
I
a
had
grand old
a
time.
80-year-old white lady up in the corner of my theater. That is not a joke.
And you sat right next to her, right?
She was uncomfortable that I was in there. I couldn't imagine if I was one of our like Frankie Button's our producer walking in there. She would have shit herself. She was like a younger guy. Uh oh. Like if you'd have walked in with the long hair, she'd have been like,
Clenching her purse. My pearls.
But it was like the most weirdest thing. Like that lady was 20 years older than those people that we saw
Asteroid
City.
City?
At least 20
Did
years
she
older.
stay the whole time?
She had like the grandma Q-tip white hair, but that was like so thin you could see through it. Like that's how old she was. And I'm like, why is she in this theater?
It's a horror
So I
movie.
guess she's a movie critic, maybe. You know, I don't know. So
It's CTS Senior.
fucking nice. Hello, I'm Gladys, and this
The
is
Golden
CTS
Girls of CTS.
Senior. Today I'm reviewing. Oh,
The
that's
Blackening?
right, the Blackening. That would be if that's what I'm just saying. If you're going from like an 8-year-old lady's perspective, I'm gonna give it a 6.4.
Just under No Hard Feelings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what'd I
you
give?
gave No Hard Feelings a 6.6. I gave No Hard Feelings a 6. I think.
Okay, 6.5. I'm gonna give it
Okay.
a 6.5.
Okay.
Just under.
I'm gonna put it at a 6.5 too.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it over No Hard Feelings because
Yeah.
I enjoyed this movie.
I did enjoy it.
They're both really good comedies.
Out of all the comedies me and you have
they're
seen
both
collectively,
the strongest this year.
those
probably.
two are the best that we've
the
seen.
strongest this
Pure
year.
comedies again. I'm not
Yes.
meaning like
Yeah.
sci-fi or cartoon or
or
anything
Marvel
like that,
are all
Marvel.
comedies at this
Right,
point. That doesn't
right,
count. None of
right,
that
that
counts.
doesn't
Yeah, Ant-Man's a comedy. You can't say it's
And
not.
it's strong and it's funny.
But it's not a
But
comedy.
it's not a comedy.
No. That's not what we mean. But yeah, No Hard Feelings. About my father. You Hurt My Feelings. I think is technically a comedy, even though it wasn't.
We'll have a better
Blackening-
late than never for that because I have to watch that.
You have to watch it
Yeah.
because it was not a movie.
No, go see the Blackening. If it's still playing in a theater near
Yeah.
you this weekend, and you don't want to be in an oversold Indiana Jones or, and let's be real, no one's seen The Flash.
Or Ruby Gillman.
Yeah, Ruby Gillman. Go check it out. It's worth it. It's a low budget.
funny.
It's directed great.
Yeah.
It's acted great.
You'll laugh.
People, they genuinely look like they had a blast making that movie, and that's the most important part.
For $5 million, I think they basically could get away with
It
anything.
doesn't look $25 million less than About Your Father.
Or like
or The Machine.
or Boogeyman.
Or
You know what I mean?
Boogeyman.
Boogeyman just has a CGI monster that cost a shit ton of money.
Yeah, that was their entire budget.
That was their entire budget.
Yeah.
And the lighting was really good in that movie.
That's
Way
true.
better than this movie.
Well, that's
Yeah.
again, they shot this on like 2 cameras. I think the entire
Yeah,
movie.
in a weekend.
Probably.
Not even like as a bad thing.
No, but I mean,
that's all
like,
they needed.
yeah.
Normally when we say that, it's like they shot this on 2 cameras in 3 days.
Yeah,
you know?
fart.
Fuck this movie.
Yeah,
But
no, but
it's
this
like,
is-
damn, they got it done.
We got to tell Frank to go see it.
Yeah, I told Frank to go see it last night, and I said it's funny.
He's like,
Yeah. What's your authority?
And you are.
Yeah.